truly African.
Nobody is going away with that there's something wrong with beauty. There's nothing wrong with beauty at all. Like I'm saying, be beautiful, but be beautiful your way, not in conforming or contorting or, to fit a certain mood.
They talked about me a lot, and then Monday I'm on radio and I'm doing it. Opportunity. Regardless of where you're coming from, things can change, right? And then you can get to where you probably haven't even prepared yourself to go.
So there's an unconscious bias against us as women from the beginning of time.
You would have been perhaps the best lab scientist, but because of your mindset of knowing that nurse equals woman, you immediately went to nursing, you immediately went to midwifery.
Possibly can. I'm grateful that you guys have made time today to be here with us. How many of you were here last year? Let me see by hand, those of you who were here last year. The vibe is different this year, isn't it? Do you remember last year? We had so much fun, didn't we? Hopefully we will have as much fun this year as well. I'm happy that you guys are back. Those who are here for the first time, can I see your hands? First time.
Oh, nice. I'm happy to meet you, all of you. We are happy to be here. Last year, I came with one person, Caroline, and an amazing speaker from Guinness. And then we had your school administrators also speak to us. This year, I've come with a full package of speakers, from diverse backgrounds who are making it and who are going to share with us today. Our time is fast spent, and so this is all I'm saying. Please, the speakers are on the stage. The speakers are people who have lived full exemplary lives. Women like us who also went through the Ghana school system and used certain skills to become what they are today. Today, I'm happy that I'm back with these women to share those skills with you, and hopefully, if you listen well, write well, and use these skills, it will benefit you, it will benefit me, it will benefit the next generation, it will benefit all of us, and we will continue to grow the kind of Obaasima that we want to see. Are we excited to be here? Yes. Are we excited to learn? Good stuff. I'll come again when it's ended. Lovely time. Thank you.
I think there's one thing that I have failed to tell you. We need to be very interactive, very involved. It's not about we speaking to you. It's about we all having fun. So when we have a speaker, please clap like you mean it. When anything is funny, laugh your heart out. Don't be too lady. You know what I mean? The men here are not going to haunt you, you know. So let's do that and make everything very exciting. So we are starting the program. Before we do that, you have seen lots of banners here. It tells you that we have major supporters in forms of partners and sponsors for this program. They have made it possible for the Obaasima Summit to run every single year. So I'd like to acknowledge them. It's very necessary. First of all, I usually say Obaasima, but in actual sense, it's the Guinness Obaasima Summit. Guinness Obaasima Summit. It tells you that Guinness Ghana is involved in this summit. And so our first and major sponsor is Guinness Ghana Limited. And I wish you could give them a round of applause because they've been very wonderful. We have Passion Air, one of the most exciting and broadened airline in Ghana. They are in several parts of Ghana that some other airlines have not been able to reach yet. Passion Air is one major sponsor. Today, they made sure that all of our guests flew from Accra to here just to meet you on time. Passion Air is a very wonderful sponsor that has been with us. We also have ATL Fabric, Akosovo Limited, here with us. And the ladies, you should be excited, you know, because whenever Akosovo is in the building, you see some cloth in the building. So you should be ready for that too. Akosovo Textiles Limited is also a sponsor. And we have UMB Bank with us. They are our official banking partner. And they are here with us today. You should know, as a young lady coming up, you know, your account, your finances is very important. There are several packages that UMB has that can suit or is tailored to suit the lifestyle of students or young adults like you. UMB Bank is a solid sponsor too. We have NLA Good Courses, that's National Lotteries Authority with us too. And Rwanda Air is an airline in Rwanda. So just in case you didn't get that right, Rwanda Air is also a sponsor. And Boss Baker. Boss Baker is one of the most modern and well-packaged bakery that deals in cakes and biscuits done in Ghana. And I love it because the first time I tried Boss Baker, I thought it was an imported stuff, not knowing it was done here. Boss Baker, please clap for them because they are sponsoring us today. You guys are going to enjoy Boss Baker today. And to our partners, those who walk with us, stand with us, and help us in organizing this program, Guinness Ghana, once again, is our major partner. I can even call them our pillar, actually. We have UNESCO too with us. UNESCO has been with us. And All African Students Union, just in case you think it's just UDS that we deal with or it is Legon that we deal with, I have to tell you that All African Students Union, ASU, is part. And they have students from all African countries who are solid partners of Obaasima Summit. So it should tell you that Obaasima, we are global. And that's where we are going. We also have Mahogany Consults, who consult with us or consult for us, handle a lot of our HR and PR needs. We are glad that we have them. We need experts like them, and they are with us. And finally, to the women commissioners of various universities, including that of UDS, who have made sure to provide us students who are in need of the training that would give them for every summit that we have on every campus. Please give us a round of applause. I'll start straight with our first speaker. And she is a very interesting character. She's been with us on all our campus tours so far, and she'll finish with us. She's come to talk about working together. Now, that reminds me of this proverb that we used to have, where, I don't know if it's a proverb or an adage, but you know when they tell you that you can easily break one broom, but a bunch is impossible to break. And when we were kids, do you remember that? You can easily break one stick of broom, but a bunch is impossible to break. And our parents or our teachers used to teach us that to emphasize on the importance of togetherness or working together. That means that we can make lots of breakthroughs when we work together. This is a very, very important training or speech that would be given to us, and we found no better person than the former ambassador to Italy and also former Upper East Regional Minister, gender advocate as well, who is in a good position to talk to ladies like you. Please, with a round of applause, kindly help me welcome Mrs. Tagoba Abayaje.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Amaraba. I didn't hear. And I'm going to talk about how we can work together. All right? Teamwork. The other speakers will come after me. So have your notepads ready. You know that as human beings, we have this popular saying that no one person is an island. You know that quotation? It just means that you've got to have people around you to be able to function. Without people around you, it is difficult for you to function properly. So what do we mean by working together or teaming up to work? We have this very popular, maybe the best ever basketball player in our lifetime, Michael Jordan. You've heard of him? Yes. Michael Jordan says this: talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence win championships. So you may have a talent, you can win one game or the other, but if you come together as a team and work together, and then you add your intelligence to that teamwork, then you can win championships. What is the importance of working together? Why at all do we have to work together? We've got to work together in order to exchange ideas, to build synergies. You have your own strength, I have my own strength, she has her own strength. We bring all these, our energies together, and then we synergize, and we are able to achieve when we synergize. When we work together, we are able to create projects, big, small, mega projects. No one single person can do that. The only way you can create and achieve progress in projects is to work together. And then When we work together, we are able to achieve set goals. When you set a goal or you set goals and you have objectives towards those goals, you need to work together in order to achieve those set goals. Now, if we know that working together is important or teamwork is important, how do we build successful teams? How do we build successful teams in order to work together? The first thing you do when you want to work together is to know each other. And when I say know each other, not just know the person by meeting and say, hey, hi, how are you? My name is this. And then the person also mentions the name. But you've got to know the person's value, the person's culture, the person's personal goals, the person's strengths and weaknesses. So when we come together, we've got to make time at the initial stages to know ourselves beyond our names and our faces. You've got to know that this person I am going to work with is so and so, from so and so background, with so and so strength, and then these are his or her weaknesses. It's very important. So you make time to study each other and know each other very well. The second point that we must consider when we are working together is to set out clear vision. Your goals must be clear. You must have a goal, definitely. You must have an arrival point. You should have the journey. You should be able to know the journey and know where the journey is ending. So you must set out clear goals, clear, and they must be clear, unambiguous. Your vision must be clear. The question you must ask is, are we sure everybody in this team understands the goal and knows the goal? Because, you know, we come from different backgrounds. And our backgrounds and our own values shape our thinking of ideas and goals. So I may be with you on the team, but my understanding of the goal may be different from your understanding of the goal. If you put a team of professionals, let's say we have a politician. I'm a politician. I'm a politician. You know that. At least from the introduction, you know I'm a politician. Yeah. So you have a politician in the team. You have a doctor in the team. You have a lecturer in the team. You have an engineer in the team. You have a caterer in the team. You have women, you have men. And you put one goal there. Do you think we will all view that goal the same way? No. I may be looking at the goal with my political lens. The doctor may be looking at the goal with his medical lens. The engineer may be looking at the goal with his engineering lens. So we've got to all sit together, discuss the goal, and make sure that we all understand the goal. And if we don't, how do we arrive at a central point and acceptable point for that goal? Otherwise, we'll be going in different directions. So before you start whatever project you have, we must all understand the goal and accept that central point around the goal. If the project or the program or the assignment for the group work is a large one, you have to set subcommittees. So you can have the big one. This is very common among us. You know that. When you are going to have a big program on campus, you have the big team that they form, the central team. Then you have the sub-teams. They will say maybe you are for entertainment, you are for refreshment, you, this group, you are for that. So if it is a big assignment for the team, then the team has to set sub-teams. When you set the sub-teams, you must give them their roles, and their roles must be specific and not confusing. So if you set up the team and this one is for logistics, give them their roles and let them understand that this is what you are supposed to do. Yours is purely logistics. Your role is purely refreshment. Your role is purely publicity. When you do that, you avoid conflict between the subgroups. The individuals in these groups must also be given their roles, and this must also be explained to them without ambiguity. The biggest challenge we always have in group work is ambiguity. We don't give direct, clear roles. So people are sometimes confused as to what it is that is expected of them. So you must give the roles, and there must be no ambiguity at all about their roles. When you do that, the individuals feel independent, and yet they are able to collaborate well. So we have individuals, they have their roles. We have subcommittees, they have their roles. Then we have the major committee or the major teamwork also having their roles. Please note that individual work is as important as teamwork, because it is the individual work that will eventually flow in to make the teamwork successful. It's like what we say, little drops of water will make a mighty ocean. So the individual roles, very important, very critical for teamwork. You've got to improve the skills of your team members. Invest in them. Invest in the collaborative culture. Some people don't know how to work with people. Do you know that? You know there are people who just can't work with people. They like being seclusive. But once we come together as a team, we must inculcate that collaborative culture in each member. So we've got to build that culture, that skill in them. It is a process, but it is necessary. You've got to teach your team members how to cooperate with each other, how to appreciate each other, how to engage in purposeful conversation. Purposeful conversation. And I keep buttressing this whenever I meet you people, because we women like to sometimes diverse when we meet, especially because we have personal and domestic issues that come up. So you have gone for a teamwork, and then you divert. Instead of concentrating on the reason why you have met as a team, you digress. You must learn to have purposeful conversation in your teamwork. It's very, very important. When you digress, everybody will digress. Especially in today's day and age where we have social media. You know, we do WhatsApp platforms. We know why the WhatsApp platform is there. Maybe it is for SRC or Women's Wing of SRC. That platform is supposed to be for SRC activities only. The administrator will write there that this WhatsApp platform is for this only. Then you get up every morning and then you come and drop motivational, on the platform. You pick pictures somewhere, you come and drop. You get the point. You are digressing. If you want to have that platform for social activities, you can create another platform. But if it is for teamwork, that platform must be for only the assignment of the team, nothing else. The team must also put in strategies for conflict resolution. as I indicated earlier, we come from different backgrounds with different attitudes, different behaviors. So definitely along the line, there might be friction, there might be some crisis, which is normal. What is not normal is that we don't solve that problem and it continues to fester. Because if you don't solve the problem and it continues to fester, trust me, that team will break up. True? Yeah, it will break up. So as part of sustaining your team, or as part of sustaining your working together, you've got to also have a mechanism to solve conflict if conflict arises. The team that is going to work together must have a team leader. And the team leader does not necessarily need to be the originator of the idea. Because some people are good with ideas, but they are not good with leadership. Do you know that? Leadership does not just mean work leadership. A good leader must be productive and also innovative. The person must be able to lead human beings. We have some people, if you give them leadership roles, they just destroy everything. You give them position, they use the position, they behave like fowls. You put the millet on the ground, all they do is this. They just scatter everything. They are there. They don't know how to handle human beings at all. Sometimes they think this is the opportunity for me to show them my level. People like that may have the idea, they do all the productive things very well. But because their human skill is not good, sometimes they may not have to be the ones to lead the group. Whoever leads the group must have human skills as well as the productive skills. Talking about leadership, we must also as a team have good followers. All right? If you have a leader and the followers are not good, trust me, that group will also fail. And when I talk of followers, I'm talking of followers who are ready to follow. Not followers who are ready to cut the feet of the leader down just because of their ambition to become the leader. We have people who are like that. They don't know how to bide their time. You are students, you are growing up. Some of you are women commissioners. Some of you are just ordinary floor members. Some of you will eventually become politicians like me. Doctors, teachers, lecturers, professors. But you've got to learn to bide your time. Yesterday, was it yesterday, the day before yesterday, when I posted our poster for this program on my WhatsApp status, there's a young lady, Alberta. Is Alberta here? Ah, she's there. Yeah. She sent me a message and said, "Mommy, please, I would like to hold your bag. Just alert me when you arrive. I just want to hold your bag and then walk with you to the room." How many of you know Hawa Yakubu or heard of Hawa Yakubu? Raise your hands. Oh, how many? Raise your hands. Raise. I want to see. If you haven't, just go and Google for the name Hawa Yakubu. All right? Hawa Yakubu used to be my greatest mentor. Great. In fact, if I'm in politics today, it's because of the Honorable Hawa Yakubu. She was a big sister, a mother, a friend, whatever. Years back, as far back as 2002, I met her. 2001, 2002, I met Hawa Yakubu. And then we became very close. I used to do programs on radio for women in Bolgatanga. And I would invite her to my studio anytime she was in the Upper East region. Eventually, she took me in as a daughter or sister or whatever. And anytime she finished the program, she would ask me if I had time, we should go to Boku together. And I love to go with her. What I did every time was to hold her bag and go around with her from wherever. We could leave the house as early as 7 o'clock and come back as late as 1 a.m. the following morning. I just loved to hold her bag and serve her. What people saw me do was holding her bag. What they didn't see is what I did for her when we came back after all the rounds. Because she was quite grown at that time, and she was doing heavy politics. We will walk and walk the nooks and crannies of Boku. By the time we come back, she's tired. She wants to sleep. She has makeup on her face. She's so tired, she can't even go into the shower to bath. So she will lay on the bed, and then I will take the face cleanser and then clean all the makeup from her face, her neck, and everything. I will pomade her face and everything. I will massage her feet and her hands till she slept. Every night. By the time I finish massaging her feet and her legs, she's dead asleep. Then I will sneak out of her room and then go and find myself some sleep. I never knew at that time that I will be here today with Alberta wanting to hold my bag. Learn to follow if you are to follow. Don't try to undercut your leader. Unfortunately, the young ones of today don't know that. They want to suddenly become who they cannot be. But if you don't cross one, you can't get to two. We are not birds. We are not eagles. Well, they will say, fly where the eagles are. It's just a statement. You can't fly. So you can't get up today and then suddenly be in the sky flying. You've got to learn to crawl, to walk, to run. And you can only do that if you are a good follower. Learn to follow, and follow with humility. Your time will come.
It's important for you people to learn this because you are students and you are entering the job market very soon, whether you are in level 100 or in level 400. And so today we thought it wise to introduce to you one of Guinness's topmost, let me give him some vibes, you know, topmost executives. He's the divisional sales manager for the Northern Region Division. That's Guinness Ghana right here. Can you give a round of applause while I'm talking? And he's going to teach you how to prepare for a successful job interview. Trust me, this is important. I hope you came with your notepads and your pens. If you did not come with them and you have a phone, you have a notepad on your phone. Take these things down, take it very seriously because you will need them. And please be very attentive for this session. Of course, all the sessions, but do not joke with this one. Help me welcome John Osei Akoto whilst he comes to give you tips on how to prepare for a successful job interview.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My colleagues also here, good afternoon. I think I'm quite happy to be here. I understand that I'm the first male to be on this train, if per the feedback that I've gotten is right. But mostly what I also tell my friends is that I am who I am because of my grandmom who actually raised me up. So I'm always happy to be with ladies. But why I'm here today, preparing for a successful job interview. I will not belabor the point and actually speak a lot of English. I'll try and summarize it as much as possible. But the key thing is that preparing for a successful interview, I believe, starts from now. most of you are students, and most at times when we students, I think majority of us are mostly concerned with academic work and not also engage in student activism, volunteerism, as well as other stuff that will really develop our leadership skills as we grow. So I will encourage you that as you hear, start joining student groups, start volunteering to really undertake various activities around the community that this university sits in. Start looking out for internships, because those are the things that will build out for you the necessary experiences before you even get out there, like into the working field. Mostly before, say, an organization will actually set out to look for people, they will really have the kind of ideal candidate in mind with a defined sort of role or, say, job description, what they're looking for. And I think for us, or for you specifically, it also behoves on you how you start understanding what you want to be in future and start gathering the necessary experiences, start gathering the necessary educational and, let me say, qualifications as well to make sure that you set yourself up for success. And for instance, I will cite an example. So I'm a student of political science and philosophy, right? And after my national service with Coca-Cola, I got the opportunity to work with them. Once I knew that the field that I've entered into, which is commercial or, say, field sales, I was interested. I took the opportunity to also better myself in that field. Hence, went in to do a master's in marketing so that I can better equip myself and to be able to function well. The fact is, going for interviews will mean that, one, you have the right experiences, two, you have the right qualifications, and you are fit for the role that the organization have actually set up. It also means that you have the right CV, right? Because CVs can mostly either get you even a call to come for the interview or not. So it's very, very crucial that your TV or your CV actually has the right content. Ensure that your career aspirations and objectives are boldly on the first page. Your personal information, your name, let me say that your bio details are clearly over there. Your educational qualifications clearly stated, and your working experiences. And most importantly, it would be ideal if there are some serious or relevant achievements that you've chalked in your career or even in your education. You also indicate them there. Because at the end of the day, it's about the few things, or let me say the little details, which will set you apart and get you the opportunity to come for such interviews. However, having also said that, there are other things that you need to also look out for and avoid on your CVs. Ensure that your CVs are well organized, avoiding little grammatical errors, and mostly inaccurate information. Because mind you, there will always be an opportunity for HR to go back and check. Even here at the universities, most of the times you hear in the news folks who have gained admissions into the universities, and later on the universities do their background checks and realize that they came in with fake results and stuff. So always ensure that whatever that you've put in on your CV is you. And for me, CVs represents us. They are the sales, let me say, the silent salesmen, or say silent sales executives for us. So make sure that it represents you and represents you very well. When you have been lucky and the CV have done the job for you and gotten you to the space of being called for an interview, there are some few skills that I believe would do you good. And most of the times, folks enter into interview rooms and they are mostly even tensed up. They're even afraid to even speak up. But it's very, very important that you come in prepared. You might have even researched about the organization, requested for the job description to understand what clearly the business is looking out for. So much so that when you come in, you are brimming with confidence. But then again also, things that I have also experienced having been part of a lot of assessment centers within my organization are sometimes interviewees being that confident to even seek for clarity on questions that have been asked. A question might have been asked is not clear on what really the interviewer is looking for, and yet he's going on to answer. Always make sure that before you speak, you understand clearly what is being asked. Very, very important that you do that. Most importantly also, try to always, as you are answering questions, make it relevant, right, to the role that you've been, let me say, you are applying for. So, for instance, an interviewer might ask you, so you say that you are very, very, say, creative. Can you cite an example? Right? It will be important for you to be able to really provide clear evidences using what, for instance, my organization will say a STAR. So a STAR is, let me say, it's an acronym. And the STAR, the S stands for the situation. So, for instance, you could say there was, say, a time that, for instance, we were launching a new product, right? And the environment that I find myself in did not really sort of submit, or let me say, support the kind of product that we were going to really launch in the territory. However, I knew that I had to make sure that it becomes successful. And in fact, here I'm moving from the S to the T, which is the task. I said the STAR, the S stands for the situation that you find yourself in. The T is the task. Knowing very well that you have certain KPIs to actually deliver both, and I don't want to go into, say, technicalities, so I would say that sales, or say quantity of, say, so I'm working with Guinness, so I'll say that quantities of, say, mortar Guinness that I need to sell has been clearly defined for me. But how am I going to achieve that? There comes in the A, which is actions, the actions that you took. Probably my target is, say, 10,000 cases. I have a team of, say, 10, right? And I have the whole of Northern Region as my territory. How am I going to now break the targets down, apportion it to my team members, understanding the, let me say, the various localities that each team member sits, the specific advantages that they have, and apportion the targets accurately so that they can be able to deliver. And the R in the STAR is the results, the outcomes. So always be clearer, providing clear evidences to most of the answers that you provide, right? And then also, it will be very, very critical that you also listen very well whilst in an interview. In as much as you are in there to be interviewed, also open up to listen. After all, how many mouths do we have as human beings? How many mouths do we have? One. But what about the ears? Two. So almost always also pay attention to details. Listen.
I just realized that I speak a little of Dagbanyu. UDS Kaola. UDS Kaola. Oh, you guys are not confident. I can see some Accra and Kumasi people destroying the vibe here, but that's understandable. I have to inform you that there are going to be exciting activities today. UMB has told me they have some special something for you guys. ATL fabrics too, as I told you. So please, be taking note of everything because you don't know where the question is going to come from. And if you are chosen and you get it wrong, your friend will benefit from it. So please be attentive, and it's going to be fun. And also, I think our DJ is not doing so well. Where is he? I like dancing, at least listening to music, but I haven't heard any latest track like Sugarcane and all those things here today. Please, we are all young people. Don't treat us like old women. I'll go to my third speaker for today. And her topic reminds me of the value of money. You know how when you are so dependent, financially dependent on somebody, it reduces your self-respect? You don't have a say, whether you are a man or a woman. Imagine a man taking money from a woman all the time. I mean, can you even correct the woman if she's wrong? Or a woman taking money from a man all the time, or even your parents, which is understandable, but the way they take care of you, or because you depend on them financially, tells you why they have so much say in your life, which is supposed to be right. But as you are adults now, going into the adult world, when you continue to be a financial burden onto others, it reduces your self-respect, you lose yourself, has several other negative implications. So financial independence is one of the key things you are supposed to learn about whilst you are being ushered into the life of independence. Today, I am going to have a guest or a speaker from our financial partner, official monetary and financial partner, UMB, to talk about financial independence and its importance. Now, she's the business manager for UMB at the Sunyani branch. And she's a lady who is financially independent, self-made, even though she's working for UMB, but self-made. And the right person to teach you how and why you need to be financially independent. So please, with the loudest applause, please help me welcome Layuba Yamalik Jew to talk about financial independence and to also give you the surprise that she has prepared for you.
Thank you for that welcome. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, organizers and my fellow speakers. Yes, we're going to talk about money. I think the first speaker took us through team building or how to work together. And we have also been told how to write our CVs. And so after we have written the CV and we are working together, the next thing is to make money. And so I just want to talk about the definition of financial independence by Wikipedia. It says that it is the status of having enough income or wealth sufficient to pay one's living expenses for the rest of one's life without having to work. In all the instances, you hear that to take care of yourself without working. Somebody may be comfortable by still working. It's simply because the person likes what he or she is doing. It's a choice. He or she doesn't have to work to pay bills, a hobby. You know, some people farm as hobbies. Some have to farm to pay bills, pay fees. So that cannot be considered. And if you are not well prepared, you realize that you go on pension and you are still working and paying fees. And this is what they want to avoid for you as an Obaasima. Obaasima means, I'm not too good about the tree. I wish I could say it in Dagbani, but I can't say it also. But I want to believe Obaasima means a woman that has everything it takes to be a woman or a lady. And so the characteristics of financial independence is savings. Savings. We say that I don't earn enough to save. I'm a student. Why do I save? But this is the time to start saving. And we don't have a fixed amount to save. You can open a savings account and every month you drop in, say, 50 cedis. Because I know even as students, we buy credit more than that. What we use in making calls and WhatsApping. We spend more than 50 cedis doing that. So this is the time for you to start saving that 50 cedis. And see, by the end of the year, you would have gotten 600 Ghana cedis. Then it continues. So the characteristics of financial independence is one, you need to save. You need to also invest. So when you have saved up to 600, up to 1,000, then you go and do a fixed deposit or a treasury bill. And you leave it going. In that way, by the time you realize you have gotten enough of money to enjoy from. And from that investment, you are able to establish or build successful businesses. Businesses that you can depend on. And that's why we are saying that when you go on retirement, you still have businesses that you don't even need to supervise, because that's not where you are looking out to be able to take your butter and bread. And so these are the three I'll just mention about the characteristics of financial independence. So now, how do you know you are financially independent? How will you know? Or how do you become financially independent? And like I mentioned, you need to avoid peer pressure. You need to avoid peer pressure. Many a times, we buy things just to appear the way people want to see us. We may not even like those things, but because people must see me in a certain fashion, then I also go and buy. And you need to right away know where you are going or where you are from. It will help you. Others do know where they are from, but for some reasons, they want to pretend and fake. But when you do that, you have started failing from day one, because you will work and work and work and work, go to pension and still look for a job to support yourself until your maker calls you. So today, I'm sharing with you, remember, know where you are coming from and put your plan into action. You need to spend less. Spend less. Even though you are not earning now, what is given to you, you need to know that I need this, I don't need that. And you cut off your expenses and you save it.
Nobody is going away with that there's something wrong with beauty. There's nothing wrong with beauty at all. Like I'm saying, be beautiful, but be beautiful your way, not in conforming or contorting or, to fit a certain mood.
They talked about me a lot. And then Monday I'm on radio and I'm doing it. Opportunity. Regardless of where you're coming from, things can change, right? And then you can get to where you probably haven't even prepared yourself to go.
So there's an unconscious bias against us as women from the beginning of time.
You would have been perhaps the best lab scientist, but because of your mindset of knowing that nurse equals woman, you immediately went to nursing, you immediately went to midwifery.
I'd go to my fourth speaker for today, and a high-profile person. We try to bring high-profile people to you because they are much more experienced in the fields that we want them to talk about. Now, the topic she's going to address is branding, mannerism. They'll ask you, what's your brand? What's her brand? Don't think anyone doesn't have a brand. Everyone has a brand. Some people are just Rastafarians, in quotes. They don't care about anything, and that's their brand. Sometimes it helps. Some people are so particular about everything, and that is their brand. Now, what brand do you have, and how is it helping your personality? It's important to note this as women, and also to note this as young adults, including the men here. So we thought it wise, the director of Obaasima, the executive director of Obaasima thought it wise that this topic would be very useful. And so brought up the managing partner, Mahogany Consultant, who is also an author and head of programs, and also a lecturer at the School of Communication Studies at Wisconsin International University College, to discuss branding or mannerisms. Without wasting your time. Oh, you know what to do already, you see. Kindly help me introduce Baba Kofi to take this topic up. Please do better.
Hey, can you all hear me? Are you tired? Are you sure? Get out for 60 seconds. Let's see if you are tired or not. 60 seconds. Okay, so now touch the part of your body that I say, not the one I do. Okay, say. So touch your shoulder. Touch your knee. Touch your head. Oh, you guys are good, 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 good. You guys are good. Okay. So today we are talking about branding, personal branding, personal branding. Do you know anybody who has branded themselves? Do you know anybody? Anybody? Can you shout their name out? Who? I can't hear the name. Okay. So you know that people brand themselves, all right? We know that. And for you, you think you are a brand. Ask the person sitting next to you, are you a brand? Are you a brand? What did they say? They said yes. Some said no. Okay, so let's talk about personal branding. Now, this is very simple. Sometimes we look at personal branding as how we look, right? So if I dress a certain way, if I walk a certain way, if I put certain photos on social media, I am branding myself, right? But personal branding goes beyond that, and that's what I want us to talk about this afternoon. Looking a certain way is good, right? So for instance, Madam Petra sitting over here, she's from ATL. Usually you see her dressed in her ATL, dress, whether it's kaba or slit or something. It's part of her branding. But then also beyond that, because she's an author and because she has certain vision and mission in life, she does everything she does according to this mission and vision. And so today I want us to think of personal branding beyond how we look, all right? Beyond how we look. So when we talk about personal branding, it is how you see yourself and how others see you. Are they the same? How you see yourself and how others see you. Your personal brand is in the middle of that. How you see yourself, how others see you. So if we want to build a personal brand today, and I want all of us to build a personal brand, okay? So what is the first thing that we do if we are going to build our personal brand? And I'm going to give you some homework, all right? Please take it serious. So I'll give you the home. It's an assignment. I'll take it after the summit. So don't get too excited. Don't think I'll run away. Now, the first thing I want you to think about if you want to build your personal brand is something I call your vision. Your vision. What is your vision in life? Maybe you have not thought about it. But today I want you to think about it. I want to build a personal brand. I want to be known for something. Because your personal brand is what differentiates you from everybody else. And before you can have that, you need to have a vision where you are going. What does your brand want to achieve in the long run? Where do I aspire to be one day? Have you thought about it? And even if you have not thought about it, write it down. So from today, start thinking about it. Where does my brand aspire to be? Where do I want to get to one day? Somebody said, I want to be the best in public relations whilst having fun and always pushing the envelope for my clients to use communications to make the world a better place. That's their vision in life. And you don't have to have it written all perfectly. You just need to have an idea of where exactly it is that you are going. And as you grow and as you mature, you can reshape this vision until you get to that point. Now, after you have your vision, because your vision is where you are going, right? The second thing you need to think about is your mission. What you are here to do. Those everyday things that you do that will help you to achieve that vision, that thing that you aspire to be. What are those things I need to do now? And as for the now, it is important. Because if you're not taking the steps to do the things now, how are you going to get to that vision? And so your mission statement, and you're going to write it, think about it. What is my mission statement? What are those things I need to do now? Sometimes it's about getting knowledge. Sometimes it's about networking, and Petra is going to talk more about it. Sometimes about letting some friends go. It's about a lot of things, but what do I need to do now? So are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about it? So you're asking yourself, what do I exist to do? What do I exist to do? Now, somebody said it is my mission to live a life of honesty, integrity, and unconditional love, to never lose sight of what is most important, and to make the world a more beautiful place through art and my relationships with others. Those are the everyday things this person has to do in order to get to their vision. These are important steps, right? But for me, even a more important step, and that's the next step if you are building a personal brand, is your values. Your values. Now, your values is what your brand believes in. What do I believe in? What do I stand for? What are those things that no matter what you do to me, I will not budge? What are those things? And everybody has to have some values, because values are what would also differentiate you from me. If for me, one of my values is resourcefulness, I need to be able to do a lot of everything. I need to learn bits of everything to be resourceful. It's a value for me. Maybe for you, your value is innovation. Everything that you do, you have to come up with something new. Those are things: responsibility, reliability, integrity. And I always talk about integrity because it is a very difficult value to uphold. You can say that, oh, I have integrity. You know what integrity is? Integrity is doing the right thing even when there's nobody around. Basic. Is that your value? And it's not enough to say it is my value. You have to live it. And so if you are building a personal brand, it is not putting it on social media, put a nice picture there and you write under it. Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody is looking at you. And then you go to your room and you are doing something different. You are not building a brand. You are putting something out there to make people think that you are building a brand. But over time, trust me, people will see through you. Because the brand that you build on social media, if it is not the same as the brand that you are building offline, at a point in time, people will see through you. Excellence, teamwork, respect, honesty, all of these are examples of values. So again, what values are most important to you? Write them down. Write them down as part of your assignment. I don't see you writing, no. I don't see you write. Madam Nurses, I don't see you writing. So the worst part about building a personal brand, and I think I've alluded to it, is not practicing what you preach. You are saying one thing, but you are doing another. When people actually meet you, although you look very nice on social media, when people actually meet you, what do they experience of you? It has to be consistent. Branding has to be consistent, both online and offline. So how do you receive people when they approach you? How do you talk to people? How do you respond to them? How do you present yourself? So if you dress nicely on social media, you have to dress well physically as well, offline as well. That is when you are building your personal brand.
Thank you very much, Judith. Good afternoon. Oh, good afternoon. So I'm going to be talking to you about two very key skills that we believe you should have or aspire to develop as you grow into young, successful Ghanaians or global citizens. But even before I do that, I want to just thank Amma and the Obaasima Foundation team for this platform, because we have the opportunity to meet very important young women and men to talk to you. We don't take that opportunity for granted. So, Amma, I think we're in the north, so we'll say Nagode. Networking, I'm going to answer a few of your questions. So, a few questions that I think you should know about networking. The first thing is, what is networking? If you think about a spider and a spider trying to get to a particular point, think of a spider's web. The spider doesn't just go from point A to point B. The spider has interconnected dots in this web. In the same way, as young people, as human beings, we are interconnected with other people and situations. If you want to achieve anything in life, you would need people to achieve that goal. And that's why networking is important. So we didn't arrive on earth and find that we are just one person living on earth. We are 7 billion people in this world. And that means that to achieve the goals and aspirations that we have, we need people, isn't it? So if there was Obaasima summits coming to UDS, but there was nobody sitting here, who will we talk to? No one. Okay, even if we decide to have a digital conference or a virtual conference, we need people to be part of that event to make it a success. So networking is important primarily because as human beings, we need other human beings to succeed. There's a saying that goes like, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with people. And that's one of the fundamental reasons why you are required to be open to the thought of networking and developing networking as a key skill to succeed. If I look at the people sitting behind me who I'm on the days with, I know all of them. I met Jifa just recently, but I now know her. If I ever want anything that Jifa can provide support on, it will be easy for me to talk to Jifa because at least I've met her twice on Obaasima. If I didn't know Jifa, but I know that she's an expert at what she does, and I want her to support me on a project I'm working on, starting the conversation from not knowing her at all will be more difficult than starting from the conversation from, oh, hello Jifa, remember we met at Obaasima Summit, isn't it? So that's the thing. Networking is important because in trying to achieve the goals that we have, it's important that we realize that the people that we need to also know us as much as we know them. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why networking is important, that people are essential to help us achieve our goals. And then the other thing is, if you think about networking, it's not just about collecting business cards and pictures, because I know that after today's event you meet some people and you want to take pictures with them, right? But that's not all there is to networking. Networking is also about you building relationships with these new people that you meet. And I want you to think about all of the people in your network as social capital. So if you want to start a business, you would need a number of things. You would need your capital to start, you would need human resource, you would need the idea. But one of the key things that you also need to succeed in life is social capital, so the people that you know. So think about networking as your investment into building social capital. Then to the third question, why or how do I network? Very simple. Start from where you are. Start here, start today. So the people you're sitting beside, have you met the lady beside you? Do you know her name? Okay. Okay, so start from where you are. That's a key thing. The next important thing about how to network, okay, are you done? Yes, so come back to me. How to network, you introduce yourself with confidence. When I said introduce yourselves, I saw some people giggling, because you are shy. Learn how to introduce yourself with confidence. Okay? It doesn't matter how young you are or how inexperienced you are. When you mention your name, put power in it. When you mention your name, put confidence in it. Don't say your name like, oh, hello, my name is Petra. And then the person says, pardon? Or somebody will say, eh. Mention your name with confidence. I am Petra Obaasima. Mention it clearly, boldly. It's important to establish a relationship from a position of strength. Don't bring yourself into a small package when you're actually a big package. And when Judith was coming onto the stage, I was recording her, and I've posted it on my WhatsApp, and I've said that big things actually come in small packages. Have you met my colleague Judith? So it doesn't matter how small you are, or how short, or how big, or how large. Mention your name with confidence. It's important, it's an important tool in building your network. Now I'm going to talk about a few things you must not do when you're building a network. Because I've encountered several young people in the last couple of years, and I find that they make certain mistakes that you can avoid. And I don't want to assume that you know. I want to actually help you so that you don't make these mistakes. The first thing is, don't make your networking attempt about money. For a lot of young people, the assumption is that when they meet someone who is influential, you're going to help them solve all of their problems. So immediately you meet someone who you think maybe is an influential person in society, the morning after you've met them, the next thing you're asking for is money for school fees, hostel fee, money for books, and just generally asking for things. If you do that, you limit yourself to some very dangerous relationships. So don't make networking just be about money, and don't make it only about you getting. Second thing is, know the difference between platonic relationships and romantic relationships. networking does not mean that every single woman you talk to as a young man is going to be your girlfriend or your wife in future. In the same way, young women, when you meet men, it doesn't mean that every man who talks to you, who asks you for your name, likes you. Sometimes young women, when someone meets you, maybe at the bus station or at the airport or somewhere, they immediately ask you, oh, hello, young lady, what's your name? Then you just frown because you assume that he's coming to ask me for my number and he likes me. Open up your mind. Not every man would want to know you or be your friend romantically. In building a social network, you need to be open to meeting new people. And you need to know that there are differences between platonic relationships and romantic relationships. So, gentlemen, please realize that. Ladies, also please realize that. Number 3 is don't hold on to toxic relationships because you are expecting some future benefits. Some of you have relationships and friendships that you know are not helping you now. They are abusive friends. You have friends who are always talking down at you, but you are always thinking that, her family is rich, oh, maybe in future she will help me. If that relationship is dehumanizing you, you need to think about what to do with it. Number 4, in building an effective network, establish boundaries. You have to know what you will do and what you will not do. You cannot discuss every single thing with everybody, every person you meet. So if we just establish contact today, even though you might like me and want me to be your friend or your mentor, there are certain things that you don't necessarily have to tell me. You have to determine what type of information you will share with people in your network. So there's a reason why you create boundaries in your life, and those boundaries are to protect you as well as to protect the other people that you interact with. And number 5, in developing a good network, you have to learn how to be a good conversationalist. A good conversationalist is someone who knows how to have interesting conversations. Some people are very boring. Even when they are chatting with you, they are boring. And so to avoid that, being knowledgeable helps you become a good conversationalist. Because if you don't have any information about anything going on in the world or around you, what are you going to chat with your friend about? Or this new person that you've met? So it's important that you build your repertoire of information so that you can be a good conversationalist. And the final thing I'm going to say is when you are chatting with people, especially people you are trying to build a network with, don't waste time. I always get messages on Facebook or LinkedIn or all the other social media platforms. So maybe today we've met. Then Monday morning, I get a message from Akosia. Hello, Petra. I say, hello, Akosia. Then 2 hours later, Akosia comes back. How are you, Petra? I'm very well, thank you. So it will take me another 2 hours to come back to Akosia. So we'll be doing hello, hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you, for 2 weeks. Busy people don't have time for that. So if you want to connect with influential people, when you're sending them a message, you go straight to the point. We don't need the, hello, Petra, how are you? Has your dog eaten? How are your children? How is the weather in Accra? How is Akosombo Textiles faring? Are you achieving your targets? All of that is not necessary. Go straight to the point in your message. I give you my number. The first time you want to approach me, go straight to the point. Good morning, Petra. My name is Akosia. We met at Obaasima Summit in UDS. I'm very happy to have met you. I'd like to interact with you further. These are my questions, or I would like to ask you about A, B, C, D. Very recently, I had a young lady who called me, and for 25 seconds into that call, she was saying, hello, Petra, how are you? That's how I was hearing it all. Because all the things she was asking me was a waste of time. I wanted to know what's the purpose of this call. Why have you called me? Because the thing is, you need to also gauge your relationship with the person. If I call Amma, we have an existing relationship. I can spend a few seconds asking her, Charlie, Amma, how are you doing? How is work? How is the family? But if I don't have a relationship with Amma, I shouldn't spend too much time beating around the bush. Okay? So you go straight to the point and approach the issue very, very quickly. And that should help you. The final thing I want to talk about when it comes to networking is the mnemonic network. So N-E-T-W-O-R-K. In networking, the N is for new relationships. Think about meeting new people. The E is for existing relationships. You have to think also in your network, the existing friendships and relationships you already have, those people also form part of your network. So people you meet in school, people you meet in church or at the mosque or wherever you go, those people are part of your network. I was talking about the people on the days. I know everybody there. Can I call you Kotoro? So Mr. John Osei Akoto was my mate in Legon. We did philosophy and political science together. And I started selling books, writing and selling books recently. I was just teasing him that he's my sales distributor for the northern region. Because every time I've written a book, he's the one who helps me sell the books in this part of Ghana. So please put your hands together for him. Thank you very much, John. And now we've met here. So he's an existing relationship that I already have. I'm not now going to meet him. Do you understand? The T, so new, N is for what? E is for what? The T is trust. You have to build trust. To be a valuable member of any network, you have to be somebody who is trustworthy. Don't be a liar and a thief. Don't be someone we don't know. When they say black, they mean gray or they mean blue. Let your word be your bond. Okay? So build trust. It's important that you build trust. So we've done E, we've done N, we've done E, we've done T. What's the next letter? W. W is for work. In building a network, it's work. You cannot be unconscious and flippant about it. You need to be intentional. So just a few days ago, a young woman who I mentor reached out to me and said she just recently got a job and she's trying to find business from some particular companies. And I said to her, what have you done? She said she sent out letters. I told her, letters don't really work these days. It's relationships that matter. So let's find out your list and see if we know anyone there who we can introduce you to. And now you also have to be active in trying to get to know people. So I told her about an event that was happening the day after. I got her an invitation and she went for the event. Out of the list of about 10 or 15 companies she was trying to target, she met 2 very important people at that event that she's going to try and prospect from. So you need to work at it. If you work in a company and you're trying to sell, you have to be intentional about meeting new people. And don't just sit down and think that it will happen. It doesn't happen by chance. So networking is an active activity, and that's why it's even a verb. It's not a passive thing. You have to work at it. What's the next letter? O is for originality. To be an effective person in any network, you need to be conscious that there's something about you that you bring to the table. And keep that thing original. Don't try to be like everybody else. Baba mentioned it. Yes, you admire Baba, you admire Mr. Koto, you admire Petra, or you admire Jifa or Amma, but be yourself. Let there be something about you that you keep, that you consistently bring to the table. Don't vanish into somebody else's shadow. It's a nice thing to admire people, but be yourself. There's something about you that you have to keep for yourself. What's the next letter? R is relationships. Networking is about relationships. And for every relationship to succeed, you need to invest time and effort. As a young person, you'll be thinking, what do I have to offer? You have a lot of things to offer. Think about anything that you can do that the other person can do and give off your time. One of the ways of building relationships, volunteering to help people, it helps. What's the next letter? K. Keep at it. Be consistent and keep trying. And that is how you build a network. So let's go over the letters. N is for what? E is for what? T, W, O, R, and K. Clap for yourselves. You're good students. I'm going to, in the next 5 minutes, talk about public speaking. And public speaking is another skill that we want you to develop because it's important for you to succeed. Whether you are coming to stand in front of a group like I am doing today, or you are discussing in your group, your discussion group, or you're in your class, all of us at different points in time exercise the skill of public speaking. Is there anybody who has never spoken to a group before? You've never spoken to a group before? Okay, so we've all done it. And there are a few things that you should know about being a good public speaker. One is that it comes with practice and it comes with time. So I didn't just wake up one day and I'm able to do what I'm doing now by chance. There was a time when I'm about to speak, I will have a very, very serious sense of rumbling tummy. I want to go to the washroom. I'll be so tensed and so nervous. There were even times where just before I go on stage, I would definitely have to go to the bathroom because I would be so nervous that everything in me would just be mixing and being confused. So it's a journey, okay? For some people who are very vibrant and sociable and extroverted, it might come to you easily. But for others, it might not. So wherever you are on the continuum, you need to realize that it's a journey of learning and practice. There's something called persuasion in public speaking that I want to leave you with. To be an effective public speaker, there are 3 aspects of persuasion you should know. The first one is the ethos, E-T-H-O-S. The ethos talks about your credibility as the public speaker. Who are you and why are you the one talking about that issue? If we had an issue with water on UDS campus and we are all worried about it, then we come to a meeting with the SRC and somebody is introduced to us to come and talk to us about the problem. But the person who has been introduced to us is a level 100 student who just came onto campus. Do we think that person is the best person to address the issue? The person doesn't have the credibility to speak to the issue. So when you're engaged in any form of public speaking, ask yourself, who am I and why am I speaking about this issue? That's why it's important that before you accept to talk about something, you must ask yourself that question and you must try and communicate that ethos to your audience. So in the introduction that Jifa gave on Baba, for instance, she spoke about the fact that Baba works with Mahogany Consult, which is a communications and PR consultancy. That should tell you that Baba understands communication, she understands branding, and she is the right person to talk to you about it. But if she introduced Baba and said, oh, Baba is a marriage counselor in her church, and she's a volunteer in ICGC, she does very well, you'll be asking yourself, so why is she come to talk to me about branding? Isn't it? So the first thing about persuasive public speaking is the ethos. The second thing is the pathos. Pathos, P-A-T-H-O-S, is the emotional side of persuasion. To be an effective public speaker, you need to connect to your audience's emotions. Connect with something that they feel good about. Know what you can say to connect with them. In politics, that is propaganda. What propaganda thrives on. They will push it and push it and push it, and when you finish listening to them, you are so upset with the other political party. Jifa knows what I'm talking about. So that's the pathos. The emotional side of things, they will tell you things that will drive your heart. If you want to be an effective public speaker, you need to connect to people's emotions. You touch them where they feel it. If I want to talk to the nurses here about healthcare in Ghana, and I want to talk to them about malaria, I will start by saying that, do you know that every 5 minutes, 1 child dies of malaria in Ghana? And I'll put my heart and my soul into it. And they'll be nodding their heads and they'll be very excited because I want them to go out there and make a difference. So the emotional connection is important in public speaking. And the last thing about persuasion is the logos, Logos. If you're going to be an effective public speaker, then your content, the letter of what you are saying must also be credible. Don't come and give us useless information that doesn't have any facts, doesn't have any logic. So you come with information that is credible. So you, the speaker, must be credible and qualified. You must connect to your audience emotionally, and the information that you are giving must be also credible. The last thing I'm going to say is, to be an effective public speaker, you must know your audience. Know who you are speaking to. So you know the language of your audience. You know what motivations they have, what they want to aspire to. The second thing is, know your content. Don't decide that you want to speak about something and 2 minutes to time, that's when you're going to do your research. Let the content move from your head to your heart. I am talking to you, not looking at my phone, even though I have all my notes on my phone, because this information is in my heart now. I've talked about it on a number of occasions, and it has moved from my head to my heart. So even if you call me in 5 minutes, all I need to do is to just pause, reflect, and I will still be able to tell you. So know your audience, know your content, and the third thing I'm going to say is know yourself. For all of us, there are things that trigger us, that help us be better, and there are things that would make us not do our best. If you're the type of person that can only function on a heavy, full stomach, you have to eat what? A fat bowl of tuozafi before you can function. Don't go and do a public event when you are hungry. Eat well. So know yourself. Know what your triggers are and what will make you do your best. If you know that you're a Muslimah and you have to wear your mayafi to make you feel confident and in the right place, don't allow somebody to make you not wear it, because that is what they would accept. Because you might feel uncomfortable, isn't it, whilst you are doing it. So know your audience, know your content, and know yourself. Thank you very much.
To introduce an outstanding human being and a powerful lady, Amma Pratt, to come and give us our closing remarks.
Hi. Okay, so I like to read this out. And this is what was given to Obaasima Foundation. It says here, every student needs a teacher, every child needs a mother, and every young one needs a mentor. And for you to have thought about us so deeply, to have us at heart, and make impact in our lives this way, we say thank you for your vision, for your extraordinary ability and leadership to guide us at all times, especially now. We appreciate the efforts taken by you. Thank you for your support. We, students of Tamale, greatly appreciate your confidence in us. We say Aiko. Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Ukom and your team. And let me say that Tamale always feels different. UDS always feels different. It's because perhaps of things like this. When we come here, you have a way somehow of letting us know that you see the intent and the reason why we do this. And it's everything to us. So perhaps it's my turn to say thank you to you guys. Thank you. Because I hope you know the reason why we do this. I hope you understand why it's important for us. As busy as these speakers are, and I promise you they are very busy, as busy as they are, to get on a plane and come here and spend a whole day with you. Petra has left her baby at home. Baba has, actually no, Petra has left 3 children at home. Baba has left 2 children at home. Obviously, he's on the stage of an all-female. I'm not sure you're feeling it very easy right now. But we do this for a reason. One speaker is missing this, afternoon. Madame Amma Sewani Kretete, that's the UNESCO chair. She normally speaks on leadership, and today she couldn't be here. And perhaps that's the reason why we do this. The next generation, the next woman, the next generation of women who will lead. And just like Baba told us in Brandon, when we think of Brandon, we think of a brand somewhere. And the fact that Brandon is very personal, leadership is also actually very personal. You lead from self. No? You lead from self. And as we were seated here listening to the conversation, Baba drew my attention to something. She said to me, we go around talking to students about skills acquisition, how to speak publicly, how to ace your interview, how to brand. But we don't tell them that sometimes it's not the strict things you learn in the classroom, the strict skills that you acquire, that matter in the long run. The 3 of us ladies seated here are all products of Infantsman Girls Secondary School. I was in the general arts class, Petra was in the general arts class, Baba was in the science class, right? In the university, my first degree is in English. Baba, what's your first degree? Forget. Petra, what's your first degree? Perfect. So none of us is using our first degrees presently. Maybe me, perhaps me. Yeah, maybe me, because I have a degree in English, perhaps communication. Baba is an author. She's written a book. Petra is an author. She's written a book. Is that our day jobs? Is that what we went to school to do? My second degree is in law, but I work at Pan-African TV. I'm not a lawyer. What am I saying? I'm saying to you that in as much as you are going to school and studying in the lecture hall, and you are coming to these programs, and you are taking on these skills that are important, I also need you to reach within yourself and find those special skills that only you have, that are unique to you, and to nurture those skills alongside the mainstream skills that you are acquiring, because life happens and sometimes you never know. Please, is anybody listening to me? Right? Sometimes you never know. I see you all, in nursing school, which is great. But I can say with 100% certainty that not all of you will end up working in a hospital. That is life. Have you acquired any skills along the way that can help you if your best laid plans don't turn out the way that you want? So reading extensively, outside everything else. Coming to programs like these. Anytime you hear of a program that is meaningful, that would impact, please, I beg you, go there, listen, pay attention to the most important thing. Follow the important things. Petra always says this, follow person where no road. Okay? Please, is anybody with me? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Because as Obaasima women, we are going to take the world by storm. No? No? Yes. And we will do that the straight way, using the classroom way. We will also do that using all the other ways, all the other skills that we have that can help us turn out excellently. Right? Okay.
nobody is going away with that there's something wrong with beauty. There's nothing wrong with beauty at all. Like I'm saying, be beautiful, but be beautiful your way, not in conforming or contorting or, to fit a certain mold.
They talked about me a lot. And then Monday I'm on radio and I'm doing it. Opportunity. Regardless of where you're coming from, things can change, right? And then you can get to where you probably haven't even prepared yourself to go.
So there's an unconscious bias against us as women from the beginning of time.
You would have been perhaps the best lab scientist, but because of your mindset of knowing that nurse equals woman, you immediately went to nursing, you immediately went to midwifery.
Remember that UMB is still outside and there is going to be the raffle. You guys are going to win lots of prizes and souvenirs from them. And let's once again mention some of our wonderful sponsors. Guinness Ghana Limited is one of our major partners. In fact, our very major partner. Passion Air is a wonderful transportation partner for us. Sponsor, actually, who has sponsored our transportation from Accra to here and also offer very wonderful flight services. ATL Fabric, of course, Akosombo Textiles Limited is also one of our sponsors. UMB Bank, we thank you very much for coming here and making it exciting with all your raffle and stuff. NLA Good Courses, we thank you. Rwand Air, we thank you. Boss Baker, we see you. We have tasted your cakes and your biscuits and they are wonderful. We thank you for sponsoring us. And our partners, Guinness Ghana, UNESCO, All African Students Union, Mahogany Consults, and all the women's commissioners of all the universities, especially this one, UDS. You are amazing. You are always exceptional, always different, and we are grateful for having you here. I am glad that all of you have come and paid heed to our call. You have listened, you have learned, and we have enjoyed ourselves. I like the fact that the boys are there at the back, she in the jama. I love that. And I expect to see most of you as part of our final Obaasima summit come June. And how many of you are we seeing next year on this campus? Thank you. I love that spirit. And trust me, next year it will be crazy.
Truly African.